I know you're threatened by how good my singing voice is.
I am. But I enjoy the challenge. I think it's important to be around people that push you to be the best that you can be. And you used to be someone who didn't challenge me. It used to be me running ahead, relay, trying to pass the baton on to you, and then you're just somewhere else. And now
Who's Hugh?
No, baton on the race. Listen. Use your ears.
Sorry, you said Hugh.
Not your mouth. I've not asked you to use your mouth. I've asked you to use your ears.
Okay.
So let's try again. This is me on the racetrack trying to pass you the baton. The baton of focus. The baton of focus, the baton of creativity, the baton of talent. And in previous years in our relationship, I feel you've been off the racetrack. You're not even in the crowd. You're not even waiting in the entrance where you're on the M4 somewhere miles and miles away from where I'm doing my race. And now you're vaguely on the racetrack. You're on the wrong
Motorway?
column, no. But you're in the vicinity. I can see you. And I'm going to get that baton to you one day. So it's nice to be challenged.
That's nice.
It's
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah, your talent has increased.
It's very, very impressive that you know the name of motorway, by the way. Well done.
Thank you.
I don't know any.
Yeah, I've got my 5th driving test coming up this year. And unfortunately, I keep getting paired up with driving instructors who...
Can't drive.
They can't drive because they see me, I get in the car and they are kicked into an immediate bout of just... hypnosis. They just can't. They can't focus.
Because your sex appeal.
Yes, exactly. Suddenly Marvin Gaye starts playing on in the car. They have it ready. It's going.
Sexual healing.
Yeah, exactly. And it causes me to crash the car because I need to get out because they are so in love with me. So that's why I have not been able to pass my driving test yet. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I can drive, and I've passed my driving test, but I can't drive.
When was it? 20 years ago?
20 years ago, yeah. It's a good 20 years ago. I passed now.
Yeah.
I haven't driven since.
Cars are different now.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah,
you must
yeah,
be
yeah.
kind of scared sometimes
No,
by the buttons and things
I think
that you
people
see.
who drive are stupid.
Yeah. Why?
Because you're just asking for fate to test you.
It is.
So no, thank you.
No.
Hugh.
Exactly. And as we both preach, you ask the universe what is going to happen to you. Every day, wake up. If you're wondering, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? I feel depressed today. Should I be getting in a car driving or should I be getting in the tube? You look out of your window and you ask the universe and it will tell you, won't it, Bessie?
Just look for a pigeon.
Look for a pigeon, look for a sign. You're going to find the answer. And I think that some of you out there are just too lazy to ask the universe, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, well, I've changed tack really with the universe thing. I don't want to get into a heavy debate right now, but yeah, I've lost a little bit of faith in asking the universe for certain things. But
Really?
we're both quite tired, aren't we? We've had a hard few weeks, haven't we?
It's been, I would say, not the easiest.
No, and I think we very rare experience today of having an audition at the same time for the same thing.
For the same role.
For the same role. It was very fun. We made a day of it, didn't we?
We did. And also what was exciting was that we decided to go in and pitch with the idea of us sharing the role. Do you want to expand on that a little bit better?
Exactly. In Friends, how Ross has a child called Ben, the little boy.
Yes.
But no one probably knows this, but the boy was twins.
Yes.
And they shared the role.
Yes.
And it was seamless. And so we thought that we could do the same thing, but
Because-
make it not seamless.
Not seamless, exactly.
Like a
because-
choice.
So when I'm on screen, young, vibrant, luscious, gorgeous, who is this ray of light that's just entered our lives? And then when you're on it, Bessie, oh my God, has she been in an accident?
No.
Oh, the stress. What? She looks so haggard. But the thing is to express the sort of the chaotic inner world of that character, because the thing is you can be a goddess sometimes and you can be an old hag sometimes too.
Well, I had a different take on that, actually.
Okay.
Thank you, JJ. It was more that I thought that, we have very different emotional
Range.
intelligence levels, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like you are lower down on the emotional intelligence scale than I am.
Is that a scientific term, lower down?
I think so,
Yeah.
actually. And I think that, so in acting terms,
Yeah.
I'm just better.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like we would do the same role, and so you would do all the scenes where the character is kind of, having fun and it's easy to
Yeah.
act. It's easy to act having fun, isn't it? Whereas I would do, because I can only act if I'm sad.
Yeah.
Because
Because that's how you are in your real life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, no, it's just that I'm very good at sad. So I
You
thought,
get a lot of practice. You do get a lot of
yeah,
practice.
you know, so I thought it would just be nice for us to share that and to kind of carry the load together of, you know, happy and sad, and to kind of give the audience, like, keep them on their toes.
Exactly.
Like, who is playing who here?
And you know, to portray the bond of family and sisterhood.
And to just give more actors a chance.
Blood is thicker than water. And I think that we don't hear that message enough in Hollywood. But it was a bit of a funny audition, wasn't it?
It was. There was over 300 girls there.
It was
women, sorry.
women.
And we arrived very early. We thought we're going to get there. We're going to get a seat early, aren't we?
Because we also knew that we had to factor in the time of pitching our sharing the role idea.
Exactly.
And so we came in prepared, game plan, spare pair of shoes in the bag, because we know we're going to be probably wearing through an entire pair of shoes. That's how fucking on the money we're going to be. We're going to have energy. We're going to have
Because we
ideas.
also like to audition running on the spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're not on the spot in front of the casting director, you're not really doing your job. They need to see the full 360. They need to see you in motion.
But also it's an action role, so
It's
you
an
are going to
action
be
role.
running a lot.
It's an action role.
See, we wore our i6.
We wore, i6. It's a sort of off-brand of Asics.
Asics.
So i6.
i6.
They're not ISIS. Not ISIS.
i6 shoes.
No.
And yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking because we could hear what was going on in the room before, and we have both signed NDAs.
Yes.
But it is for a big superhero movie. Which is why we're wearing our disguises right now.
Exactly. And they were charmed, absolutely charmed by
they
these
loved
masks,
our little
by the way,
masks.
because this is a clever statement. It's both provocative, obviously very sensual, and also as
Handmade,
and has a sort of a joyful joie de vivre of the child.
Yeah.
So they were thrilled.
They
upon
loved our
entrance.
little masks.
But you know this is something that we try and preach to our listeners often about the fact that you always need to be prepared, because sometimes you're going to be the most prepared person in the room, and then something's going to happen thrown in front of you, and you're going to have to react to it.
Exactly.
An obstacle.
Well, what was our obstacle?
It was a certain Miss someone that we won't name names.
But she's super famous.
She's so famous. You might recognise a certain very famous iconic dress that she wore. And let me tell you, she looked anything other than glamorous when we turned up at this audition.
Well, she was asleep. She was just asleep. She was lying down on the sofa. We were last to be seen, weren't we? Because we factored in. We said to them, we need to also have a talk.
But we got in there, and casting officers tend to have a sort of uncomfortable sofa to this is actually a tactic that they use. You can read it in the book, The Art of Casting. To have the most uncomfortable small sofa that you can find.
To make you feel fat.
To make you feel both unattractive and too large, and also to make you feel like you want to get out of there. And to make you feel on edge. And they actually put spikes in there sometimes. I've seen casting directors do it before.
Yeah.
A scissor, maybe a little knife, maybe a little
Yeah.
bread knife,
Yeah.
maybe just a sewing needle.
I've also, it's a trick. If they say, do you want a glass of water? You say yes, but you do not drink that
Don't
water.
take a sip. Don't take a sip, because they lace it with laxatives.
They want to fuck you up.
They want to fuck you up. They want to see you embarrassed, because that's the type of actor that they need, somebody that can cope with having intense stomach cramps because they might soil themselves in an audition.
They want
So
to embarrass you, and they say, don't go to the toilet, please.
They say, don't go to the toilet, please. And then they put a big sign saying, if you do anything in here, we will hear it in the room. And we know our poor friend who got caught by the laxative trick.
Yeah. You can't talk about her.
No, we can't talk about her. She's left the acting industry out of embarrassment and shame. She fell for the laxative water trick, let me tell you.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's just the funniest.
You shouldn't laugh.
But so we saw this incredibly famous actress lying on the sofa.
We saw
Snoring.
Mrs. Green Dress. I think you know who we're talking about. Mrs. Really? And one of our iconic lines. And she was curled up like a little cat on the scissor sofa, which is already an insult to us because...
And she drank the water.
She drank the water. It clearly sent her off into a nice sleep. And the fact that this was her attitude of just complete careless abandon that she hadn't prepared.
No.
In fact, we could tell that she was shouting in her sleep, wasn't she, Bessie?
She had night terrors.
She did clearly
She
have
was
night
so
terrors.
relaxed about auditioning, she had accidentally got herself into the dangerous zone of sleep.
In the terror zone.
She had night terrors like my toddlers do.
Yeah.
And she was shouting out all sorts of random things, industry terms, you know,
Industry
like,
terms.
Stop that grip.
Action. You know, intent. What's your intent?
Zoom in.
Front stage, backstage, side stage.
No, director, please.
And then thrown intermingled with that sort of a story of cannibalism. She was on some kind of a tank in a jungle somewhere and would just scream blood-curdling screams at the top of her lungs.
And then almost choke on her tongue.
And then almost choke on her tongue. Now, it was interesting for us, Bessie, because we were put in a bit of a moral dilemma here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we... Now, this actress is a very beautiful, very talented actress. So
Not when she's sleeping, though.
when she's sleeping, she looks like a hog.
She's not.
She
She's
looks
not
like a
a
hog
natural
in the mud.
sleeper. No.
But it was up to... What would you do, reader, listener,
Would you comfort
watcher,
her?
viewer? Would you wake her up?
Would you sing her a lullaby?
Would you kiss her on the forehead?
Like we did.
Or would you you alert the casting director? Look at this.
She doesn't give a shit about your project. She's having a nap.
Look at the unprofessionalism. No, this is what you do, and this is what we did. You take a third approach. I bet you didn't realise there was a third approach. You place a blanket gently on her, because as you should always be carrying a blanket with you just in case you do see anybody
For
asleep.
picnics.
For picnics and just for bedtime and for romps. Maybe.
And just for, like, you know, to pretend you're in an invisibility cloak sometimes.
Exactly, an invisibility cloak. Yeah, nice vocal warm-up. So we tenderly placed this blanket on her shoulders, and immediately you could see the relaxation wash over her face. Are you okay?
Just looking at my reflection. I feel a bit silly in my mask. I'm sorry.
Do I look
No,
silly?
you actually put it off.
Thank you.
You look very cool, Batgirl. But I'm just going to take mine off just because, you know, it rubs on my glasses, and
That's
I've been
fine.
wearing contacts all day for my, you know, superhero roles. So
Yes.
just going to put that
I
mask
understand.
down. Thank you. Go on.
Gently placed the blanket on her shoulders, didn't we? And she let out some gas.
She
had a bit
had taken that laxative.
She had a bit of tummy trouble, and it was quite loud. And
Well, we didn't judge her.
but we didn't judge her, because the fact is we know what it's like. We
take laxatives all the time.
exactly. It's the only way.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
But what we did to soothe her was do that therapy technique of tapping.
Tapping.
So we just went and tapped her whole body and face. Just tap, 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 tap. Just to give her a nice, like, just to tone the night terrors down.
She clearly was under a lot of pressure from something in her home life, something in her personal life. We don't know.
She had had some industry trauma, like we have.
But what was also great is when the casting director then came out, called her name, all we had to do was just gently tug that blanket over her face, softly roll her off the
like
sofa.
Yeah.
In like some sort of a pillow log thing, because she's very thin, very thin. So
She's hollow.
very easy to carry in a blanket and to make it look like you're just holding a big rug.
I don't think she can be more than 2 stone.
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I felt like I was carrying a bag of air, and then just softly rolled her under the sofa. And now she's still there. She's still there.
Well, I hope she's not still there.
Look, she might still be there. She looked like she was in the deepest, probably most satisfying sleep.
Well,
of her
they
life.
probably locked her into Spotlight.
Yes.
Imagine. Do you think it's like Night at the Museum?
I
Night
bet.
Night at Spotlight.
Yes, all of the acting posters of all the different films, the shit films that they've cast, they
Yeah.
all come to life.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's.
Yeah.
I won't even name names because we're not going to be bitter here. That's not our
No,
game.
but she was very. I actually became quite more fond of her than I do in her acting roles in her sleep.
Yes.
And it meant that we got to go and have longer in our time in the room, didn't
Exactly. And we blew them away. We're still waiting to hear back,
Yeah.
obviously.
And we did take her phone.
Yes.
That wasn't
Safety.
okay.
No, but safety precaution, just in case she wakes up but is still asleep and texts somebody something that she shouldn't. It's important for somebody responsible and awake and conscious to have her phone.
So we'll give it back eventually.
So we will give it back to her. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if she's watching this now.
No.
I think that
She might be a patron.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was a fan of our work. And if you're watching this, you can contact us and we'll send you your phone back. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just hope that you got some rest. And don't be jealous that we took your time in the audition, because we know how to.
It will be a better movie.
It will be a better movie
when we get it, which we will.
And we know that you are a patron of the arts in general, and that's what you care about. You want good work to be made. So just take it on the chin.
Yeah.
And we'll give you your phone back.
We had also, I've got to go soon because I've got to go to my first meeting.
Oh, how are you feeling about it? Nerves? Nerves, or is it more of a sense of relief now that you finally accepted that yes, you are you're an addict?
I am an addict. I am. I have to say that out loud.
It's scary. It's scary to say the words.
Hello, I'm Bessie, and I'm addicted to oat milk. God, that feels good.
Wow, I felt.
I want to cry. I actually want to cry.
I felt a wave coming from you just then.
It's just hard, but I can't carry on taking out 3 to 4 things of Oatly a day.
Be honest, okay? I'm putting my pen down. I'm taking the mask off. How many cartons do you get through a day?
I just don't even know anymore.
When does it start? When are you taking your first sip?
It starts within 30 seconds of waking up.
Yeah. You have a bedside Oatly, I imagine. Is that what your mini fridge is for?
I have, yes, of course. Yeah, I have a mini fridge, which are just so cute, aren't they? They're just so cute
and so non-threatening looking, which is why it's scary, because that's what's gonna get our kids. You know, they come in all kinds of colours: pink, purple, green.
I don't know how it got so bad, but it's just become such a it's such a big part of my life. Like if I'm not near one carton, I just now start to get a bit shaky.
Yeah, and you have this sort of hollow, sort of slightly grey tone to your skin, almost similar to the carton colour. And
but if I shake myself around,
exactly,
the colour comes back.
Exactly, like the oat milk and the way that it separates.
Exactly.
And you know, I've seen you down the supermarket aisle sniffing at the bags of oats.
Oh, if I'm in the supermarket, I get through at least half just before I'm even at the tills.
It's very sad.
It is sad, but you know, it's been a hard time.
What do you think made you wake up and, you know, feel the air on your skin and say to yourself, okay, I have a problem, this needs to stop? Because there are some terrible side effects to Oatly overconsumption that I don't think a lot of people are educated on. You do start to lose sensations in your ears, I think, to begin with. Is that right?
Well, no, it's mainly just everything tastes like oats.
Yes, everything tastes like oats.
So it's like, you know, COVID, you lose your sense of taste and smell.
Yes.
It's like with Oatly, you lose your taste and smell of everything apart from oats.
And oats are nice.
Oats are nice,
but
and I mean,
everything.
They're very nice.
And I think you like a little bit of the sweetness that comes with it too. Is that right? You a bit of a sugar fiend?
I do. I'm. What can I say? I have a sweet tooth. I have a sweet tooth. Yeah. I'm getting a cavity as punishment.
A what?
A cavity.
A cavity.
I've got a cavity as punishment.
Oh, I
getting
see.
a filling
I
as
thought you said
punishment.
something else.
I'm going to get my tooth drilled into as punishment. But I'm not ready to just go cold turkey yet. It's very important to me that I'm not going to just abandon the Oatly. I'm going to keep it with me. I'm going to just have it near. I'm going to slowly switch onto almonds.
Yes.
And
which
then
sucks. It just sucks.
It's just not.
Let's be
It's
real.
just not a sugary.
No, it's just not nice.
So yeah, it's
not a treat.
It's been a very hard few weeks, and I've just really really learned to just depend on Oatly, and I've got to stop.
And I think that this is, honestly, it's at risk of becoming an epidemic. The number of people who rely on Oatly, not just for their joy, not just for their dopamine, not just for that sneaky little thrill that you get when you crack that carton open, but also the fact that their identity becomes Oatly. Hey, oh no, that's an oat cappuccino, thank you very much. No, I'll be taking oat milk in my tea. It becomes you.
And what I realised it was a problem when I started genuinely writing to them every day with ideas for what they could put on the cartons to be funny and witty.
Yeah. Like what?
I just had little cartoons, just like little oats talking to each other, oats playing in the playground, oats going to other oat shows. It was
really,
very sad.
It's just sad.
It's very
really
sad. They didn't take any of my ideas on board.
No, the Oatly team, do you think any of them drink it? No, because they know the harmful effects.
So yeah, it's a big day for me. But I'm excited to meet other people who've been affected by Oatly, like I have.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I think it's even giving me an allergic reaction just having it.
How is the infestation going?
Close.
How's the infestation going at your flat?
Bessie, my goodness, where do I even start? This is something I haven't properly disclosed with our listeners yet, but I have unfortunately been terrorised by a family of rats and mice recently in my dwelling, in my home.
Well, we don't know if they're rats or mice. They're very in between size.
The interesting thing is that they have a sort of sentience and a sort of emotional connection with specifically my singing voice. Now, I wake up in the morning and I sing, and I go to bed and I sing. That's how I start my day. It's how I end my day, with a vocal warm-up. And, that was a lovely pee.
That was plosive.
Thank you.
That's not good.
And I noticed as I was getting my morning coffee, doing my morning vocal warm-up drills, I would hear the pitter of little mouse feet. And I thought that it might be coming from outside. I thought that it might be just in my head. But when I would turn around, I would see a single mouse sitting there intently listening to me.
Oh my
Actually.
God. Terrifying.
And once I went a little bit closer, clapping its hands together.
Applauding you.
Applauding me.
Oh my God.
And I was so shocked to see this sight, and I thought, this is one of those amazing miracle moments that just happens once in your life, and I need to be blessed, and I need to say thank you to God, Jesus Christ our Lord in heaven.
Mice God.
Yes, mice.
Because
To the mice God. My God personally is a mouse.
Yeah, well, I knew that.
So it made sense, because I thought, I'm seeing him.
A disciple.
I'm seeing the Son of God himself is clapping me and my performance. Next day, same thing happened, except whole family. You had Mama, you had Papa, you had baby Joe, you had little Liz, his little sister, and many more. And it's
They
slowly...
were all applauding you?
All of them applauding, going wild, waggling their tails. That's actually a mice's way of communicating that they're a fan of something. It's sort of
Something creative.
It flies up and down in the air like it's a flag.
Oh, wow.
And they'd actually managed to attach tiny little pieces of cotton, because I was missing some pairs of pants. They'd managed to, I'd wondered what had happened, but they, like the Cinderella mice, because mice are much more clever than we think. Ratatouille, that's a documentary. That's not a Pixar film, that's a documentary. And we don't give these creatures enough credit. They had torn little shreds of fabric from my pants and actually tied them to their tails so that it would be waving like a flag.
Oh.
Like going to the opera. Maybe I am their opera. And obviously Horace is slightly concerned, just in terms of the health or the safety of the situation. But I informed him that I would be calling an exterminator and that he needn't worry about the situation.
But you're not, are you? You can't kill your fans.
I think I might play the exterminator.
Oh, of course.
I think I might turn up to my own abode in a wig and a disguise and a monocle, because I feel like that's something exterminators would wear, and sort of fool him.
Fool Horace.
Fool him. Fool Horace. And actually use my singing voice to sort of lead the mice outside and create a new little house for them using my Sylvanian families.
I just love that. I think that's so kind of you.
Well, I give to the people that want what I can give, which is my art and my talent.
And you can practice new material with them.
They love it. In fact, they've created a sort of a system now. They have different little scraps of material, different colours, depending on their thoughts about the material that I've started performing to them, because I've expanded from vocal warm-ups now. It's been months. This is something that I've actually been building up to, sharing with all of you for a long time. I might
You're like a mice whisperer.
I sort of am. Yeah, I'm sort of like a Mary Poppins or Pocahontas. And I've expanded on the material that I'm doing now. And they wave different coloured flags on their tails depending on how they feel: sad, happy, elated, joyful, funny. The sweetest sound you'll ever hear in your life is the sound of a mouse's laughter, and that's probably the note that we should leave it on today.
I think so,
because not everyone is in the pit of despair that you are in as a.
No, it's very uplifting. That story is just uplifting, because you're creating a new home for these mice.
Exactly.
You're really being creative and you're finding a place for you as well with the mice.
Yeah.
This is maybe a new career side path for you.
They are the reason that I do this. They're the reason I'm here. So
That's lovely.
thank you.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
And thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you. This has been a very sensitive episode, actually. Very tender. Thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Are you okay? Don't cry.
I feel like giving the microphone a little kiss. There.